A good morning to you. Welcome to my testimony on Sunday Best. Good to have you. Thank you so much for giving us an opportunity to get to engage with you so that you get to hear really lovely, powerful testimonies. From a test came amazing testimonies. And so today is one of that kind of testimonies. We are at the James Suits Riverside. Great place. Oh, the cuisine is on another level altogether. Great conference facilities. Now that, restaurants are open, hotels are open, it's somewhere you can, pass by and check it out. Remember, they're also COVID-19 compliant. I want to mention one specific thing. It's called Unwind Fridays. Unwind Fridays. So after a long day at work, you can come over, enjoy. There's a lot of, happy hour live music and much more, and you can get to enjoy a good time with your friends, even with family. So check it out, you'll love it. Karibu sana. My name is Anthony Ndima, and today I'm with my brother and the minister of God, Dan M.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I love the energy you just release every time we have a conversation.
Praise God.
Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Uko poa?
It's good to see you again.
And you speak very good English. You umetoka wapi? Ama kwa sababu ya kutravel?
Oh no, I'm a village boy.
I'm a village boy. It doesn't sound like a village boy.
Well, I'm a village boy. I was born and bred, in the village.
Right.
That's where I grew.
And you speak a lot of Kikuyu as well.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I'm not the people that shies of their origin.
Right.
Because I was born of a very old man, and he taught me a lot of things about my origin.
Right.
He wanted me to catch it right and get it right. And because of that, I never shied.
Right. Great. Karibu sana. You're a gospel minister. You are a minister of the word of God.
I'm also a professional MC.
Oh, you're a professional MC as well.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Give us a few more details about yourself.
Number one, my name, the name that people knows, the name that people knows on the media houses, and as I travel around the nations, they know Dan M.
Right.
But my original names are Daniel Mwaniki Kihara. And as I told you, I don't shy off from where I'm coming from. I'm not a tribalism, but again, I celebrate culture.
Right.
And I celebrate everywhere people comes from. And that's why I've learned just a few languages from around this nation, so that anytime I go to the certain ethnicity, I'm able to at least have a word or two.
Maji.
Yeah, naezomba tu maji. I'm a married man to one beautiful girl, of which I normally tell people, since I married her, this is now 21 years ago, I forgot her name, because since that day I call her only one name.
Yes.
And that is Sweet.
Hey.
I've never called her by any other name. Even if I tried, I can't. The name won't come out.
You just call her Sweet.
I just call her Sweet. We are blessed with 3 children. All of them are teenagers. Wow. Our son is turning 20 soon. And we are a blessed family.
Ulioa mapema lakini?
Not at all. Not at all.
Hey, you've been married for 21 years.
Yes.
That's a long time.
I think it's not long, because I'm not yet 40 years in marriage.
I like that. Great. You were born to a father who was 60. And your mother was 20.
20, yes.
That's a very
big difference.
Big difference.
40 years.
Tell us about that.
I found myself in this wonderful family, and when I was born and I grew up until I was maybe 10 years or so is when I began to realize it's like, actually not 10, maybe a little older. All along I never knew that my dad was that old. I knew he's my dad.
Right.
So his looks and his age was not a big deal for me. But I came to learn later that when my mother got married to my father, she was only 20 years old. My father was getting into his 60s, and I was born already when my daddy was 60 years old. Actually, my mother is the age of the last born daughter of my stepmother.
Take that again. Your mom?
My mother
Yes.
is the age of my stepsister, who is the last daughter of my stepmother.
Wow. So your mother?
Is like a daughter to my stepmother.
Yeah. And the last born daughter?
And the last born daughter to be, for that matter. And my stepmama had 5 children.
Wow.
And when I was born, I was the age of those people who were supposed to call me uncle. Some of them were older than me.
Right.
But what happens is that my family was a very great family. There was a lot of love. There was a lot of togetherness. I never called, now it's only, I came to learn later that she's not my real mother. And I knew she's supposed to be called a stepmother in English, but in my mother tongue, I always called her Mukuru. In other words, Maito Mukuru, Mama Mkubwa. But she was like a mother to me. Yeah. Yeah, that's where it came from, actually.
All right.
It came from there. And she loved me so much to the extent that any time, any day she was to travel, I was like her basket. I had to be with her. That's how much my stepmother loved me. That's why I'm saying it was a great family. It was not a place whereby people fight because of the steps. And I want to discourage that, please. Nobody chose to be born anywhere. Even if you were born in the president's house, you didn't choose.
Yeah.
You found yourself there. If you were born in Queen Elizabeth's house,
Right.
you didn't choose, you found yourself there. So that person who was born in a family that is polygamous, they didn't choose.
Yeah.
So I do not know why the other children would want to victimize the ones that were born. Because all of you are children of the one and the same daddy.
That's true.
Because I believe if my father did not father me, that old man, and I'm coming there, because as I grew up later in life, that is what made me even more comfortable being a son of an old man as my daddy was.
Interesting. What was the condition, or rather, how did your mother get married to?
One time I just wanted Mama to talk to me, because Mama and I, she's late, may her soul rest in peace, we were great of friends. And one time I just wanted to hear the story. Mama, how finally, you know, kuna ile tunaita kukatiana nowadays. My dad alikuwa tu mzee sana. Alikukatia kiaje. So she told me a very interesting story. And she told me that my daddy was a go-getter. Anything he wanted, he got it.
Right.
And he used to like Mommy while she was very young. I think she was in teens.
Right.
And my dad would always look at her and say, this girl, one day I'll marry her.
Interesting.
And then what he used to do, he befriended my grandmother, my mother's mother.
Yes.
And every time she would come to the small town center, the township where they used to live, my daddy would buy him sugar, would buy him meat, would buy him this. Then he would write it down.
So he would buy those things for your grandmother?
Yeah. And my grandmother used to think, this is a great person.
Yeah.
This is somebody who is so nice. And
generous gentleman.
Yeah, generous gentleman. And my dad would always joke with her, though he meant it, and he would tell her, you know what? We will be in-laws one day.
Where?
And now my grandma jokingly would say, there is no problem. Which one of my daughters do you want?
Of course, they are very young at that point.
Yeah.
Eh?
And
Even
my
how
daddy
she-
would say, now would say my mother.
Wow.
And my mother didn't even have
Of course.
anything to do with my daddy. So the story continued until one day my daddy talked to my grandmother and said, now I want to marry your daughter. And my grandmother said,
You're not
no,
serious. It's not
it was
possible."
always a joke. And my daddy said it wasn't a joke. I was serious. And he removed the list. I said,
Every
can you see?
Every time he bought, he wrote.
Everything.
That's a clever man.
He was a clever, or maybe a cunning man.
Yeah.
Then, when my mother was told about it, she was a young girl. She was now, I think, 20.
Yes.
She told my grandmother, over my dead body, I will look for a job, work, and repay him.
Wow.
But my daddy said, over my dead body also. If you can pay me, you ain't paying me nothing. So my mother resisted and couldn't. But one day my daddy said, no, I'm serious. So you're refusing me? Okay, I'll teach you a lesson. So he took his best friend. My daddy had a car. So in those years, to have a car, you know you're doing well.
Yeah, very well.
He was a businessman and a farmer.
Right.
And they went. They knew all the routes. He's this kind of like an FBI guy. He had chunguzad everything about the girl.
Yeah.
And then they said, today is the day. So they knew which route she passes. So him and his friend, they go and grabbed the girl as she was on the road, put her in the car, and drove away with her.
She
And
was
that is how-
eloped.
Yeah, she was taken, whether she wanted it or
Kidnapped.
not. She was kidnapped, you can say that.
And that's how she became a wife.
And that is how, after 3 days, what else? Are you not a wife?
Wow.
And she agreed to it. And I was the result. Sitting right here on the television, wanting to encourage somebody. I want you to know I'm going somewhere with this story.
Yes.
Because I was born, and one of the best things is that there was a lot of love that was surrounding me. My mother loved me. My daddy loved me extremely.
Wow.
My stepmother loved me more than anything else. She took me like a grandchild.
grandchild, yes.
You can imagine. She loved me that much. So there was a lot of love around me. And I got so much attached to my grandmother, almost more than my mother. Because I was always with her. She's doing anything, I'm with her. She's traveling, I'm with my stepmother.
Yeah.
She's anything. Shopping, she would go shopping for me. Even when I grew up, my stepmother would still take me shopping.
There's something very interesting right there. You see, ideally, your stepmother will have been very jealous.
No.
Ideally.
Yeah.
In our society,
sure.
she will be thinking,
And especially,
excuse me,
yeah.
why did you come to destroy our family, you know? But look at her, she's loving you like, you know,
Yes.
her own,
Yes.
your own.
You know, the culture then, it's different from today.
Yeah.
Because then, for you to be a rich man, you had to have many parcels of land. Now, there was one particular parcel of land that needed someone to take care of. And my stepmother was wise enough to understand that the more they employed people to take care of some of the properties, they would not take care of them properly.
Yeah.
So they wanted someone permanent to take care of some of the things they had.
Yes.
And that is how she actually, when she had, daddy was like, wanted to get married, she said, yes, you can marry that girl.
She allowed
Yes.
him.
She is the one who allowed it. And that's why she loved me and my siblings. She loved us so much. So much.
You know that
like
can't
our
happen
children.
today.
No, never. I don't think right now it can happen. I don't think.
All right. So here you are, growing in that family, a lot of love.
Yes.
How was growing up, going to school? How did that turn out to be?
I just went to school like every other normal child. That was in the late 70s. I went to school. I went to school when I was too young.
Yeah.
I was extremely young, but I was a bright boy. And while I went to school at that very tender and young age, there was music in me. So I remember one time, you know, in the nursery school, the way you're taught some songs, and then all of a sudden there was a meeting that was happening. I don't remember very well. I think the member of parliament of our region came around where we were, and now as the kids, we were told, can you,
welcome.
The kindergarten teacher was requested, can these children entertain? And then, as bold as I was, and I am always, I was called on to do. I don't remember very well which song I did, but when I did the song, everybody was clapping for me. Everybody wanted to hug me. Everybody wanted to be around me. All of them.
Yes.
So I remember the scenario today. I can't remember very well because I was like 4 years old, and it was an amazing moment. Then I went to primary school. I went to high school. In primary school, still there was a lot of things happening, and it was in the village. I told you I'm a village boy. I remember in primary school, even by the time I was in class 8, I wouldn't do a construction of a whole sentence in English.
Wow.
And I was so scared by the time I was going to high school, because I was like, I understand in high school people don't speak in Kikuyu.
Yes.
They speak either in Swahili or in English. Here I am, my Swahili is not good. I don't know how to completely construct a sentence in English. What will happen to me? But guess what? In high school, I went to a very nice high school whereby we were taught by white people. Our English teacher was an American woman. It was a mission school, actually a Catholic school.
Right.
And our English teacher was a white lady. And that was my beginning of deliverance from lack of knowing English. So that's how I was delivered, because I never knew the difference between L and R. I didn't know the difference between SH and CH. To me, both of them were the same. Knowing that I come from the origin of Mount Kenya, where we don't know how to differentiate those two.
Lies.
Yes, so we will say, instead of saying lies, we will say rice. And we don't have a problem with anybody. Instead of saying chair, we say share. I want to sit on the chair. And we don't have a problem with that. But now my deliverance came as a result of joining good school and good teachers. And that's why I finally got some little English.
Of course, all this time you have a lot of support from family.
Sure.
You're doing music and you have a very powerful voice. We just do a line. People think we are very nice.
Hallelujah. 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 Hakuna waku fanana.
So the gift of singing started growing.
Yes.
When you got to high school, it kept getting better, right?
What happened? I started still singing. You know, I told you I can't remember when I wasn't singing. But the person who made me now get from a level to a level and exposed me to people about singing was my own father. My daddy was a church person. I wouldn't say per se he was a born again, no. But he was a great church person. He loved church. He took us to church while we were babies. I remember we were baptized, me, my sister, and the one that follows her. We were baptized when we were I think it was 5 years. My sister was 3 years. My other sister was like 2 years or 1 year. We were baptized then. We come from the background of the Anglican church. We were baptized young. But I remember while we were very young, my father used to take us to church, and he would request for an opportunity for him to sing with his children. Why? Because every time at home, he taught us a song. Like every week we had a new song from the ones we call the Golden Bells, but in Kikuyu we call them Nyimbo cia kuinira Ngai. And I remember during that time we began to grow in confidence. Our confidence, because even my other sisters, they can sing as good as I sing. We grew in confidence. Our confidence and esteem grew because Daddy would always encourage us. Because after singing in church every Sunday, in the evening, we would have a session of singing at home.
Yes, wow.
So that made us to grow. But it's like I was outstanding. Myself, I was outstanding because as we joined the Sunday school later, the Sunday school teacher realized that I'm a very good song leader. So every song that was supposed to be sung, who read the song? Every time we go for competitions, I was always the song leader. Even in primary school, I joined the singing groups like the focus songs and all these things, and I would lead the songs. So I continued, and we would win all the time. So when I came to high school, there were no much singing. But because I loved singing, there was only one department that would have joined that sings, and that was CU. So I had to join CU. Irrespective of that, I'm not born again. I had to join it. Why? Music.
Yes, music pushed you right there.
Music pushed me there. But it was a great CU because we had some ladies and some people we used to call Grace Gado, some people that we used to call Tabitha. They were born again themselves, but they used to love. I remember a lady called Grace Ngado. I wish she's watching this program somewhere. I want to recognize you and tell you really played a big role, because she would teach me some of the Golden Bell songs, and I would keep on perfecting myself. I don't remember when I didn't sing. Even when I wasn't born again, I would still sing secular songs.
Yeah.
One of my favorite singers was Mariah Carey. But Mariah Carey just the other day. It was Whitney Houston.
Way back,
Houston
yes.
was way back those days, and she was shining. Michael Jackson was a great influence of me.
All right.
I had secular singers. There was a group that had come up in those days. They used to call it the Black Box.
Yes.
I don't know, I don't know, I don't know anybody else. I've never forgotten those songs. I still remember those songs.
Yes.
All these guys, and above all, I loved country music. I loved Dolly Parton. Not only did I love music, but I also loved dancing. I'm a very good dancer.
All right.
I would go for dancing competitions and I would win. And so I remember those days were the days. I think the music then was better than the music today.
I think so.
I think there were better
really
things.
Corrupted
and there was no dirty stuff. Even the way to sing, to dance, and what have you, it wasn't dirty.
Yeah.
Even for non-believers, it wasn't dirty.
That's true.
We had, and I would dance at home. My father would have no problem with me dancing while I was in high school. At home, I would come and practice moves and do those things. I see my children do that same today. Today, I have great choreographers in my house who teaches me the latest dancing styles.
Right.
My 3 children, they are best of dancers and singers as well. So it was an amazing time and an awesome time. I remember in high school, I had to change church. Why? Music. I had to join Salvation Army.
Wow, because of music.
Because Salvation Army, especially in the area where I come from, they were top in music. You know, the band, and we would, you know, the procession we do in towns. I'm a very good tumbling prayer.
Oh, really?
We call it matali. Matari mina kuchezea mpaka utati. We used to go for my congress and we would win. So my life revolves around anything to do with music.
Right.
But I thank God because I had parents who supported what I was doing.
All right.
Although then they didn't know the importance of releasing you early into doing what you love and into doing what God has given you.
That's right.
So I had to find that later in life.
Great. Let's hold it right there. Let's take a break, a short break.
Yes.
We'll be coming back with Dan M. But I'll want to understand so that our viewers can also be able to tap into that.
Yes.
When you go to about 21, things were not good. Your life took a totally different turn.
Sure.
But thank God you're here. Means something happened.
Amen.
Something good happened.
Yes.
So when we come back, we are at the James Suits Riverside. Don't go too far. This is my testimony.